What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel where today we're going to be bringing you something slightly different. No FC content today. We're going to be doing some Euros based content and something that I always love doing when there's a major tournament on, and that is a bracket challenge. Now, of course, as you know, the Euros are kicking off in Germany this Friday when Germany hosts Scotland. I'm buzzing for it. I can't wait to watch as many games as possible, see how England do. And yeah, I basically wanted to do a bracket challenge, wanted to record it for you guys, put it on YouTube, and get your guys' opinions and thoughts as well. So we're going to be going through each group, why I think each team will finish where they do, and then onto the knockout stages as well, and where I'll name the team I think who is going to lift the Euro 2024 trophy. Now, I'm doing this on the official UEFA website. I'll leave the link for this bracket in the description. Feel free to let me know in the comments who you think is going to win. If you have done a bracket as well, what teams you think will be the surprises, and who you think will go all the way. So let's kick it off with Group A. Of course, you have the hosts: Germany, Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. Now, Germany, I feel like they're in a bit of a weird period right now where they've still got a few of their old guard still playing, and this will probably be their last tournament. And then you've got the youngsters coming through as well, but they're not quite at that pinnacle of German football where they've been dominant in previous tournaments. Saying that, they still look very good, and especially up top, the likes of Musiala, Sane, Wirtz. Füllkrug's had a good season with Dortmund. Havertz has had a good second half of the campaign. And then you got the likes of Kimmich, Gundogan in midfield. Tony Kroos has come out of retirement for this tournament. I think the Germans, especially because they're hosting as well, will in fact win this group because the group isn't particularly strong. I can see the Germans winning this group potentially comfortably as well. So I'm going to go Germany in the number one spot in Group A. Now, this is quite a tightly contested group in terms of who can come second place. I think Hungary and Switzerland are sort of in that group of teams that are always at major tournaments like Poland's and Austria's, who are just tough to beat and always somehow grab a couple of points here and there. However, and this is going to be my first sort of out there prediction, I actually reckon Scotland will finish second in this group. They're going to break their Euros curse and they're going to get out of this group. Now, I know Lyndon Dykes is injured and he is out of the tournament, which is a massive blow for them. But I still reckon Scotland will get it done and they will finish second in this group. Now, obviously, third place is still an important position to finish because a group of third place teams, the best third place finishers, will go through into the knockout stages as well. And I see. Oh, what do I see actually? Hungary are a solid team. Switzerland do have a few decent players. Granit Xhaka coming off that historic league campaign with Leverkusen. So I reckon Switzerland will finish third, Hungary in fourth, and that is how Group A will finish. Now going on to Group B, probably the group of death: Spain, Italy, Croatia, and Albania. Albania, despite them actually having a really good qualifying tournament, have got the toughest group, so you have to feel for them. I can't see them finish anywhere but bottom in this group. But in terms of winning it, it's definitely up for grabs. I think Croatia, I'm sort of working from fourth to first here, but I think Croatia are kind of past it now. They, the last few tournaments they've been in and around the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and making the World Cup final as well. They're a fantastic team, but I just think they've got some aging players there. I think it'll be Luka Modric's last tournament for his nation, and I think they'll finish third in this group. And then Spain and Italy. Italy, obviously the current holders, but having a lot of issues, didn't qualify for the World Cup in Qatar. And yes, are hardly looking like a team going into a tournament who are going to hold on to their trophy. Spain, so back and forth. They went through that period in like the sort of 2006, 2010, 2014 era where they were winning everything. Obviously didn't win anything in 2006, but won back-to-back Euros, won the World Cup as well. I think they have got some really good young talent as well, and I think they will win this group, and I think Italy will finish second, Croatia in third, and Albania, unfortunately, finish in fourth. Now, Albania could be a tricky customer and they could cause an upset. They've got a very Serie A based defence. They've got a lot of players playing in the Italian league in their defence and some decent players in there as well. But, potentially could snatch a draw off someone, a shock result, but I do see them finishing fourth in Group B. Heading over to Group C, of course, England's group. England didn't get off, didn't get off to a farewell game that they wanted to against Iceland, losing at home to Wembley 1-0 in a pretty poor result, a pretty poor game, I'll be honest. But I still think England should win this group. They should be the dominant force in Group C. I think for me, the issues for the England team is going to be the knockout stages. Um, the reason being is I think going forward they're going to be fantastic. The midfield and attacking options are brilliant, and the fact that we can leave the likes of Jack Grealish and James Maddison at home and still not be too worried shows how good the depth is up top. But it's the defense that worries me. And the fact that Fikayo Tomori hasn't been named in the squad is crazy. I just think there's a sort of stigma against players not playing in England. I think Tomori should be there. He won the Serie A title last season. This year had another good campaign with AC Milan. And I think considering as well the fact that Maguire's not there, I think because of injury. And then the centre backs we do have there. So if there are five standout centre backs, right? John Stones, who I think is the best option we have. And then you've got Lewis Dunk, Ezri Konsa, Joe Gomez, and Mark Gahey. Now, don't get me wrong, those last four are good players and they've been great for their clubs. But between them, I think they've probably got about 20 or 30 caps. Their inexperience, I think, is going to show. And I think John Stones is going to have to lead that back line. And the fact that John Stones wasn't even starting for City towards the back end of the season as well could be of a concern. And that's why I think it's a shock that Tomori isn't in that team. Because yes, he hasn't got the caps as well, but I think he is better than those other four centre backs. And I think this is where our issues are going to lie. I think we should get through the group, but I think as soon as we face a big boy, a really top team, I just don't think our defence is going to be able to hold them off. And I think that is what is going to lead England to not winning these Euros. So for me, I do think England win this group. And then it's a tough selection there. Denmark have been, sort of the Croatia of the last couple of tournaments where they've been at the surprise package and been up there, obviously losing the Euro semi-final to England last time out. I don't think Denmark are all that. They struggled at the last World Cup. Now, for me, Serbia, I think, will actually finish second in this group. They're led up top by Alexander Mitrovic, who's just come off a record campaign with Al Hilal winning the Saudi Arabian League. His teammate and national teammate, Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, is also a fantastic player. And I just think they've got some good, decent players in there. Dusan Tadic as well is in and amongst the squad. I think Serbia will have the better of these three teams. I think it's going to be tightly contested, but I think Serbia will actually take second place. I think Denmark do take third, though, and Slovenia will finish last. Going on to Group D now, two of the big teams, France and Netherlands. Well, France, obviously, a current massive team. Netherlands, a sleeping giant. And then you've got two of those teams I mentioned previously, Poland and Austria, who just are in that group of teams that always seem to get some sort of result. Now, for me, I can't see anything past France winning this group. I just think their depth and their strength and depth is fantastic, and they could really field two or three teams in this tournament that could go far. So for me, France will win this group. Now, the Netherlands, like we said, a sleeping giant, a huge team in the 70s, 80s, 90s, but since the turn of the century, they haven't fulfilled that sort of legacy that their previous teams did. And despite them sort of kind of going through the same cycle of managers, your Louis van Gaals, your Ronald Koemans, I think that I think they're half there, almost like the opposite of England, where England's attack is fantastic and I'm worried about the defence. The Netherlands' defence is brilliant, and it's just going forward where I think they'll struggle, and getting their goals will be the cost of them. Defensively, you've got the likes of Van Dijk, Van der Ven, Frimpong from Leverkusen, Ake, who's had a great season for Man City, De Ligt as well. Defensively, I think they're very sound. In the midfield, you've got the likes of De Jong for, Frankie De Jong of Barcelona, Xavi Simons, who's coming off a great year with Leipzig. But up top, you've got Memphis. I don't think, I think the goals is going to be the issue for Netherlands, but I think defensively they're going to be very hard to break down and they're going to be very hard to score against. So Netherlands, for me, I think will finish second in this group. And then it's a tough one between Poland and Austria. It's just sort of who can beat the other team. I think that will be the key for them. You know, Poland, obviously, Lewandowski, now he's getting past it. Austria, led by Arnautovic. And actually, I'm going to go for Austria to finish third in this group. Austria had a decent qualifying campaign and they've got a solid squad. And so for me, I think Austria will outdo Poland and finish third in that group. Now, Group E, the penultimate group, this one for me is so open. Now, on paper, Belgium should walk this group. You know, the rest of them are teams that are not up there in terms of quality at all. And Belgium, with the quality they have, should be winning this group quite comfortably. Now, we know Belgium, I feel like they're past it. You know, they had their prime years in the sort of 2018, 2016, 2014, well, maybe not 2014, but 2016, 2018, 2020 era is when they could have and should have won a trophy. They didn't. They're now sort of revamping. You've got the likes of Doku breaking through. He's quality, but then you've got the likes of Kevin De Bruyne still in that team, captained by Jan Vertonghen as well. So there's some age, some experience, but some fresh legs in there as well. I think Belgium do win this group, but I think this is going to be a very tight group, and I don't think they've run away with it. I think you'll see teams picking up points off of each other. Now, in the second place is going to be my sort of surprise pick of the of the tournament, a team that I think will actually shock a few people and go quite not go quite far in the tournament, but will exceed expectations, and that is Ukraine. I think Ukraine have got some really solid players amongst their ranks, but above that, because of everything that's going on with the country as a whole, I just think when you as a team are playing for something that's bigger than you, I just think it brings out more performance. And I just think that will show on the pitch. And I think Ukraine will finish second in this group and they will actually surprise some people. They've got a very good squad indeed. They've got a couple of key Girona players in there who have led them to the Champions League for the first time in the club's history, which is unbelievable. You've got Syankov on the wing and Dovbrik up top, who won the Golden Boot in La Liga. You got the experience of Malinovsky in the midfield, and then the partially brilliant Mudryk, who has shown glimpses of being fantastic for Chelsea this season. Can he do it on the biggest stage? Well, I actually think Ukraine will do something at this tournament. I think they'll finish second in the group and they'll go into the knockout stages. Even their defense, you know, Zinchenko, Mikolenko, both proven Premier League players, and Zabani, the Bournemouth centre back, had a fantastic year with the Cherries as they finished their highest ever position. And then in goal as well, Lunin, who has been the number one for Real Madrid the most of the campaign. You know, Courtois has been injured and he's not even in the squad for Belgium, who are in Ukraine's group. So for me, I think Ukraine finished second in this group. And then it's a shootout between Slovakia and Romania. I think Romania have got a couple of decent talents in their ranks, and I think they will finish third. Slovakia, I think, will finish bottom. And then onto Group F, the final group. The group that I think will personally, I'm going to go with Group F being the highest scoring group. I just think there's going to be goals in this group. And for me, I think Portugal will win this one quite comfortably. I can see them winning all three games, to be honest. I just think, again, their quality and their depth is fantastic. You know, their attacking options, Rafael Leao, Neto, Diogo Jota, Bernardo Silva, obviously Cristiano Ronaldo, Gonzalo Guedes of PSG. They've got so much attacking outlet. You know, they've also got the likes of Ruben Diaz and João Cancelo at the back as well. I think they're going to be fantastic. And I think they could go for a deep run in the tournament. Bruno Fernandes as well. Sorry, I didn't even mention Bruno Fernandes. So I'm going to go Portugal to win this group. And then this is a tricky one because I think Turkey, a lot of people backed Turkey as dark horses in the last tournament and they fumbled massively. So I don't think I want to make that mistake again, but I'm going to go with Czechia instead. Czechia, for me, I think will finish second. They've got some good, solid players in there. Thomas Souček, captain in the side. They've got some decent forwards as well. So for me, Czechia will finish second. Turkey in third, and then Georgia in fourth in their first ever Euros campaign. Now we move on to the third place teams. We have to pick 4 of the 6 that will make it through into the knockout rounds. And the thing is, you don't want to pick just the 4 best teams. You want to pick the 4 teams that will get the most points from their group. So for me, it's, you know, do the third place teams beat the place team. So Croatia, I think, will beat Albania. So I think Croatia will go through. Do I think Switzerland will beat Hungary? I think that one will be tight. That, could be a draw. Denmark, I think, will beat Slovenia. So I think Denmark will make it through. Austria, Poland is another one that could be quite tight. Turkey, I think, will beat Georgia. So I think Turkey will go through. And then it's kind of a tough pick between the rest of them. Romania, do they turn up? Do they be a bit of a shock? Austria against Poland. Switzerland against Hungary. I'm going to go Austria, Poland. I think those teams draw. I'm going to go with Switzerland. I think Switzerland beat Hungary, and I think they make it into the knockout rounds. Actually, no. I'm going to change that. I don't think Switzerland make it through. I want to say Austria, but I think they might draw. I'm going to go with Romania. I think Romania make it into the knockout rounds. Now, onto the round of 16, the business end. This is where it gets tasty. Win or bust. Now, first game, Spain against Turkey. I think this one is a foregone conclusion. I think Spain make it through. Germany, Serbia. I think this won't be an easy game for the hosts. I think Serbia are a tough team. They will show resilience, but I do think the Germans will succeed in that tie. Portugal, Croatia is a tasty one. Battle of Luka Modric versus Cristiano Ronaldo, the two Real Madrid legends. This one could really go either way, but I do think Croatia are kind of past it now, and I think Portugal are going to have a deep run in this tournament. So I'm going to go Portugal to win that tie. Netherlands, Ukraine. Now this could be a little upset. I said Ukraine could be my little outside bet. My team that I think will do well. Netherlands, like we said, have a very good defense, but is their attack there? And I think Ukraine, like we said, they're buoyed on by everything that's going on for them. And I just think that Ukraine could be the story of this tournament. So I'm going to go for an upset there, and I'm going to go Ukraine to beat the Netherlands in the round of 16. Belgium, Denmark, another tough one. Two teams that, Denmark actually kind of polar opposite. Denmark sort of exceeded expectations. Belgium did not reach the expectations, but it's a tricky one. I'll go for Belgium to win that one. I reckon they do. France, Czechia. Unfortunately, Czechia, I think France will batter you. France to make it through and set up a local derby there between Belgium. England, Romania. Hopefully, England can win this one, and I do back England to make the quarterfinals. And then Scotland, Italy. Scotland, I do think you'll make it out of the group, but I think that is where it will go. Italy, despite their struggles, I think will make it to the quarterfinals, the reigning champions. Now, on to the quarterfinals. What a lineup we have here. Spain against Germany. This one's tough for me. This one's really tough. Spain, who have so much quality, have so many young players coming through. Is it just a tournament too soon for them? Germany, the hosts, will the pressure make them fold? I am going to go for a Germany win here. I think being at home, I think hosting the tournament will just drive them through. And I think someone like Florian Wirtz, this could be a breakout tournament for him. Although he is, kind of a big star already. I think on the national stage, it will be big for him. Next up, Portugal, Ukraine. Could Ukraine go all the way to the semis? I think this is where their fairy tale will end. I think it'll be a fantastic campaign for Ukraine, but I do think Portugal will have more to say in this tournament, and I'm going to go for a Portugal win in that tie. As we said, a local derby here, Belgium versus France. I think France have it in them to go all the way, and I think their depth, their quality in their strength in depth is just phenomenal, and I think France will make it to the semis. And then England v Italy, the rematch of last year's final. Now, after England's performance against Iceland, I shouldn't be filled with confidence. And I mentioned that England's defence, I think, will be the cause of our downfall. And Italy are renowned for having strong, resilient defenders. But I do think England will get redemption for the last tournament's final, and they will knock out the reigning champions. On to the semi-finals now, the final for Germany v Portugal. What a tasty tie this is. The hosts against the team that have so much flair, so much attacking prowess. Who do I think is going to take this one? Now, I'll be honest, before I actually did this bracket, I had an idea in my head of who I thought the final was going to be, but now I'm mapping it out. I'm going to go Portugal to beat Germany. I think Portugal make the final. 2016 winners, I think they make the final once again. And I think they knock out the hosts. And then in the other semi, what a tie this is. World Cup quarter-final in 2022, France v England. I would love to say England will go all the way, but unfortunately, this is where our defensive issues will lie. And France, when they have a player like Mbappe, he just delivers on the biggest of stages internationally and club level. And for me, France will win this one and set up a repeat of the 2016 final between themselves and Portugal. But this time it will be redemption for the French nation as they will beat Portugal and be named 2024 champions. So that is how my bracket is going to look. I have France beating Portugal in the final. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Let's do a little bonus prediction as well. We'll do golden boot winner, golden glove winner, and maybe, yeah, surprise package, maybe flops of the campaign as well. So golden boot winner, I'm tempted to go. I was going to go Harry Kane. I think if England make the semis, I think Kane could bag a lot of goals. But I feel like because I've put France to win it, I'm going to go Kylian Mbappe to win the golden boot. Golden glove, I actually think, again, France will keep plenty of clean sheets. And Maignan, the AC Milan goalkeeper, I think Big Mike will win the golden glove. Surprise of the tournament, like I said, I think Ukraine will be the fairy tale of the tournament. I think it'll be a great campaign for them, and I think they'll make the quarters. So for me, shock will be Ukraine, and then disappointment, flop of the tournament, I'll go Netherlands. I think Netherlands have so much history and so much reputation that I think they're going to get knocked out in the last 16 and not make it anywhere near the semi-finals or finals once again. And I think that they will flop for their expectations. So let me know in the comments, guys, who you think is going to win the tournament. Who you think will be the surprise package, who will flop, who you think will win the golden boot, who will win the golden glove. Get all your predictions in, and if you like videos like this where we've sort of done something slightly different to FC24 content, let me know by dropping a like on the video and let me know in the comments as well. And if you are after more Euros content from myself, I will leave my link for my Instagram in the bio as well, because on my Instagram I'm going to be watching basically every game. I'm going to be doing daily updates where I talk about the games, talking points, who I think is doing well, who I think is not, who's providing shocks, all that good stuff. So if you want sort of more in-depth and daily Euro updates from myself as the tournament goes on, make sure to follow me on Instagram and keep posted there. But yeah, that'll be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Something slightly different, but I've very much enjoyed it. I'm very much looking forward to the start of the Euros. I hope you are too. Let me know in the comments what nation you're supporting. Is your nation in the tournament? If it isn't, who are you supporting? Who are you rooting for? Drop a like on the video, sub to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.